can hear the feeding the ducks music.
We're going to hear two musics, but it's not going over the air. One music.
It's just for those screens.
Yeah, this music's for the stream. We added that this week.
Freezer.
Good. Good morning, everyone. Welcome into another edition of Tee2Green. We're live and on the air here on WGR Sports Radio 550 and also on our video stream at T2G Buffalo on Instagram, on YouTube, and on X. We appreciate you being with us here on a unfortunately rainy, cold Saturday morning here on April 25th. Brian Coleshill with you, along with PGA Pro Jeff Meadis. Kevin Sylvester is working at the Zurich Classic. We'll get him in just a few moments. Jeff Blank, part of our team producing. We'll check in with him a little bit later. And Dan Dale producing on the radio side back in our Amherst studios. We're at Glen Oak Golf Course. We'll be joined by Tim Freeze and Anthony Shiro from Glen Oak in just a moment. Jeff, good morning.
Good morning. If you didn't get your lawn cut, you waited a little too long. This weather's going to be a little sticky, but it's brighter days are ahead. Yeah, there's a little bit of standing water out there as we look out at Glen Oak, but it's a good day to get inside, get your chores done, get your clubs clean, get your grips redone, get ready for the season.
Today would have been a good day for a Sabres game.
It would have been. 2 o'clock this afternoon would have been really nice today.
If you got a weekend where it's sunny out and you feel like, maybe I should be doing something outside, today with it being kind of rainy and cold.
But we got it tomorrow.
We do.
Yeah, we got it tomorrow. It's not supposed to be so great tomorrow either. So,
well, maybe it'll work out. You're right. The weather cooperates in the bad way, maybe for us tomorrow.
In Western New York, by the way.
Yeah,
it's weird to have bad weather in the spring.
It is a busy sports time in Western New York. Yep. We know the Bills had some draft picks yesterday, more today. If you're listening on WGR, we'll have coverage later on this morning and then into the afternoon as Brandon Bean busy dealing and wheeling and dealing. And then, of course, the Sabres, as you mentioned, tomorrow will be game 4.
Yeah, it's got to be a little more fun for you, as everybody always says, too, a little bit more exciting. It was fun. I have a daughter who went to the game in Boston, and there was a lot of Sabres fans. It was a very exciting night for her.
Absolutely. So we're happy to be here at Glen Oak. As I said, Tim Freeze and Anthony Shiro in just one moment, but busy show. Kevin Sylvester from the Zurich Classic in about 15 minutes or so from now, he'll come on and join the conversation. Tim Karchis from the First Tee of Western New York at 7:30. They've got a nice event coming up that we're going to talk about. And then at 7:45, Taylor Kessel from Callaway. Kevin and I recently went through a fitting with Taylor, so we're going to talk about that. Of Tee2Green, we're happy to be here. One of our favorite stops, Tim Freeze, owner, PGA Pro, Anthony Shiro, PGA Pro as well, director of golf. Tim, good morning.
Brian, Meadis, love it.
Morning.
Love it when you guys come here. Thanks for what you do for Western New York and golf.
Thank you. Anthony, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, thanks for coming, guys. And Jeff, this is more our scene here in the pub than
I'm a little more comfortable here than I am in somewhere working. Yeah,
we started pouring Guinness again.
Yeah, of course we did. Yes,
I would think whether it was sunny or rainy, if people are playing during the course of their 18 holes, they might talk about the Sabres or the draft a little. Tim, it's a good time to talk sports in Western New York.
Oh my gosh! So my son went as well in Boston.
Did he go to the game?
Yeah, so he went. And they didn't bother him too much in there. They left him alone in Boston. There's other arenas where you might get heckled a little bit if you're wearing a Darlene jersey, but he went with his buddies and his girlfriend. They had a great time.
Well, if you know my daughter Sarah, she causes a ruckus. So
she stirs it up.
Yeah, she's not afraid.
That's all right.
Yeah, but it's fun. I know it's a bad weather right now, but it is still an exciting time, and people are starting to get ready for golf, and the golf course is starting to shape up, and it looks beautiful, super green and lush.
We're missing something here. There's a little absence, and that is the Sabres playing golf in springtime. They're busy.
They're not.
This is great.
It's cutting down on your business. Yeah. They're usually here.
Yeah, this is well, we're off the cart pass, I think, one day.
Yeah.
I think we'll
Yesterday.
be right back on, unfortunately. But as we tell everybody at the counter, hey, we talked to the superintendent this morning and we convinced him to get you in some carts. He was going to not have carts, and they're like, oh, so it softens the blow.
I like your line. It's an outdoor game.
It's
an outdoor game.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, if people are excited to play, if they're playing today, well, it's going to be a little drizzly, but that's part of golf, right? It's outside, just like other sports are outside. Sometimes you have to deal with it.
We all play in some events, and I was taught long ago how to learn how to be a mutter. Right. So you figure out all those things, how to keep your grips dry, carry an extra towel. And if half the field is eliminated because they don't want to be there, well, your odds just went up. So you got to figure it out.
That was always my mentality. Yeah. Half these guys don't want to be here. All you got to do is put the right gear on. Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was one of your mottos, but it might be a Navy SEAL motto about embrace the suck. You may have heard that. So if you could do that.
Yeah, that's a Marine thing.
Is it a Marine thing?
Yeah.
So
suck. Just deal with it.
You've influenced my son with that. Because last week he was playing at a junior tour event at Transit Valley, and the back nine had started just pouring that Saturday afternoon, raining, and he had the rain jacket on, the hood or whatever, and I was out there walking. I had my proper rain gear on, Jeff. You said, right? Make sure you have your proper rain gear on.
Failure to prepare is
that's
preparing
right.
to fail.
And he walked over to me in between holes because his umbrella little thing, I had to fix his umbrella or whatever, and I said, how's it going? He goes, fine, but he goes, remember what Mita said? He goes, half the guys want to leave, right? I'm like, yep. He goes, all right, I'll stay. So it wasn't as enthusiastic maybe as you said, but he at least remembered what you had said about that, right? Isn't that about what you usually say?
I just thought teenagers never listen to me. That's all.
Yeah, he remembered that. He's like, yeah, Mita says they all want to go. He's like, so I'll stay.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you're staying.
Yeah, we paid for this.
That's right.
It.
You're finishing. So,
yeah. If you sign up for an event, like we might, and like they all might out there, there's some spring tournaments coming up here at all the clubs around, and everyone loves to play. But when you have an you're like, oh, all right, what I want to do.
You're going to have days where it's going to rain. You're going to have rain delays. You're going to come in for an hour or two. You're going to go back out. Those things happen. That's part of golf, and you need to embrace that part of golf, or you're not going to enjoy tournament golf. That's for sure.
Part of, I think, though, what makes it where you can still enjoy yourself, Anthony, is if you have proper rain gear and equipment and things like that. That helps it. I think if you're out there, literally just playing in your short sleeve shirt, and then all of a sudden you're soaked like that. That can make the day feel more miserable than maybe it could have been. If you got your rain gloves, you feel like you still got a good grip of the club, like you can still have a good time.
Right, as long as you got the right equipment. And honestly, I mean, I just had this happen in Florida when we were down there in January. It's just being prepared for the right equipment. But it was like 38 degrees when we were teeing off in Florida. I didn't have many long sleeves. I certainly didn't have hand warmers. I didn't have a winter hat. If you're just prepared with this stuff, it's the same swing, just a little bit more restricted, but you're always going to be able to warm up. Right. So on the range, I would just get used to wearing a lot of layers, and you can always shut them off as you go.
I'm waiting for that perfect gear, which would be like we all wear hoodies, a rain-proof hoodie. You know how the back of your neck, the rain comes off a baseball hat. Not a lot of people wear a bucket, but that's actually the best way to do it. Imagine a good hoodie that you can throw on that's not restrictive, and then you stay a little drier. What do you?
My favorite thing is a neck gaiter. When it's like this, you throw that on your neck. As long as your neck and chin and you're warm, then I always felt like I was warm.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the golf course here. I know maybe some updates for 2026 for those that haven't been to Glen Oak yet. Tim, what's new and exciting here at Glen Oak for this upcoming season?
And as Anthony knows, and Jeff, when you have a good superintendent's crew and they want to come, they're all coming back, which is a good sign. We just went through aerification again, just to make those greens better for the summer, and little breakdowns here and there, which happens, and how big a time that you do.
Why do they have to air? Why do courses have to aerify? I'm sure people are like, why do they got to do this now? Kind of thing,
Right. And Jeff, we all know in this industry, right, that the greens themselves, that's your baby. So if we call them drill and fill. So you pull out that core and some of that compaction, you try to take that out. The sand goes down. Think of a beach, water over beach just disappears. So you want that water to filtrate down, plus percolate, right? And then if you have any sunlight penetration, any of your nutrients, right, it just gives an opportunity for the greens to spread and to grow and to relieve compaction, basically. Because here we get played often. We'll put it that way, that there's a lot of compaction out there. So that alleviates that. Plus, holy cow, it firms up. I love basketball courts to play on and putt. Firm, and you can get them faster. And the leaf blade, we can cut them down about a 110 thousandths of an inch. Some courses go lower if they can, but airification provides that just good, healthy. You pay a little penalty. We have discounted rates. Come on out and enjoy the course, and you got to putt it a little harder, but then they repair, and woo, they're great for
Well, think about it. You got 40,000 rounds, everybody walking on. You got mowers on it every day that weigh a lot. You're compacting it down. You're putting a lot of stress on the grass. It's an opportunity for, and in the spring like this, the growth rate is so fast. They're pushing out so fast, so it won't last very long. They'll be good very, very soon.
Yeah, and if you've played here in the last couple of years, you've seen how healthy, how good and firm our greens have gotten over the years. We've got to see it all these years of being here the last 8-9 years now, I guess. But this is why we do it. I mean, we have gorgeous greens during the summer that can handle the heat and the traffic because of this process that we do. But hey, it's discounted rates right now, where why not come out and play for 30 something bucks when
it's all part of the process. I think we put between 50 and 75 tons of sand down on the greens, comes out of Cleveland, and I think since we've been here, it's getting close to 1 million tons of sand. And Jeff knows about that process of if you just want to sprinkle a little sand here and there on Mondays, and it just helps the turf itself to survive deep root growth. It's agronomically the way that you have to do it. We had to start doing that because of what we inherited, and it's been we do it twice a year now. I wish we only did it once or not even at all, because you can imagine it affects revenue, but we feel for the customers it's the best way that we can deliver a really good product for them on a day in, day out basis over the summer, and it's healthier. It protects them.
Yeah, for the amount of play that you guys get, I think your greens are always in outstanding condition. Like, just knowing that you guys get a lot of play here, right?
Yeah,
So
people that come to the Duster know that. Yeah,
I was gonna say the Duster.
Yeah, if you come to the Duster, you know how these greens can be.
Yeah,
and there was, and you mentioned about course. There's just the ash tree population is just in every golf course. I was just up at Niagara Falls, and a lot of ash trees went down. You just have to take care of them. So we've been busy there this winter. We had a great winter cover. Most courses did that blanket of snow, which it was cold, but it was snow, and it was actually really good for the turf. Instead of having open, cold days, they call it desiccation. I think that's the word, right, Jeff?
I think so.
When you have a high cold wind and high spots, and then you can have some damage. But we didn't have any of that. So it's very healthy. It's growing. Like, we have to put growth regulators on to slow it down. Yeah, many courses kind of play with that.
good stuff there. All right, other events you guys are holding. We talked about the Duster. It's going to be Friday, July 24th, 6 p.m. In the next upcoming weeks, we'll have the link and the QR code to push out for that. A great night. We have over 100 golfers the last few years. This will be our 10th edition of doing it. Tim and Anthony, we always appreciate your donation of the putting facility area as part of our cause to help raise money for PGA Hope.
What a highlight. Year after year, you guys keep delivering with the people that participate, the partners that come out, the food, the drink. It's just fun. Into the lights and the celebrations. I got to watch that again. The champagne toast. I think Brandon, one of our employees here, ended up being in the final match play. And the fella last year, I think he was 80 something that qualified, made the match play. How fun is that? Anybody can putt.
Yeah, it's so good.
You're going to sell it out, right?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite nights of the year. I say that every year, but it's I can't wait.
Yeah, and it does great. Raises money for Hope. We're trying to raise 10 grand this year, so that's
our goal.
Yep.
Year 10, we're trying for 10. Last year it was just around 8,000, and previous year in the sevens. And so, I mean, it started obviously 9 years ago. We did it at Fox Valley for a couple of years. Scott Howard, the superintendent, who now owns Attica's golf club there, and he, was very nice to let us punch 18 holes in the putting green. We've shifted it over here, Glen Oak, and it gives us even a little bit more space to accommodate the larger amount of participants that we've had for the last 6 years, and it's taken off. Yeah, so we're hoping that we can hit 10,000. If you're a local area business and you'd love to donate and be one of our partners for the Duster Challenge, reach out to myself or Kevin or Jeff here, or you can even get in touch with Tim or Anthony here, and then they can send us
or the Western PGA
or the Western PGA.
Yep. A lot of ways to get involved.
We'd love to have you be a part of the Duster Challenge, the 10th edition this year on July 24th, Friday night here at Glen Oak. All right, let's talk about the Western New York Open. That's also here at Glen Oak this year. What's that all about?
Yeah,
Anthony, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, it's in August. It's a Monday, but it's one of the cool tournaments we get to host. We're lucky enough to be able to host that event, and it's really good amateurs that are open to play. I think you have to be six 6 handicap index or
Yeah,
lower.
It's 5 or 6, I think. Yeah, it's great competition for. We'd love to get over 100 to play the best of Western New York, and we added a senior division here, so they'll play a separate tee. Yeah, that's us. Yes, not super senior, which but that'll be fun competition between pros, amateurs. There's some nice prizes, and we spice up the course a little bit. Play the course all the way back if we can. Hide a few flags. That's really fun to have the best of Western New York compete here at the height of summer. Anthony and he participates in running just a great event. It is a lot of fun. We playing threesomes, I believe.
Yep, threesomes. I mean, it is so much fun, and this course can show its teeth. I mean, it's pin positions you don't see every day, and it's green speeds you certainly don't see every day and in the normal part of the summer. So it's a awesome event. Our course can really show how great the design is and how tough it can play. I think
it's an excellent design.
One player under par 2 years ago.
Yeah,
it's like 600 par. But but I know you won 1 year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's smoke and mirrors. I didn't play the last 3 holes. Turn in my scorecard. Yeah, but I think McUltra is a nice sponsor of our event too. So come on and participate and celebrate us with us at the end. It is cool because we treat it like a tour event. Have little ropes around the tees. We have a nice scoring area, and it's live leaderboards. We're doing all summer this year in Western New York PGA, so everybody that might be as a relative or a friend can participate in someone's round on the golf course. So we're doing that live this year, which is really neat. And Western New York Open would be a nice opportunity to see someone play and how they do, or if they have a tough start, see if they hang in there.
Yeah, if you're a good junior player, it's a good opportunity to play in a tournament, play against some really good players, and see how your game stacks up against some of the best players in Western New York.
We have had that, Jeff. That's a great point, right?
Yeah.
Because of all the wonderful events, the Porter Cup, things that happen in Western New York, and then they move on. I've been in contact here with Anthony Delasani, one of the best around here, and he's still giving it quite a try out there, and he's played in this event as well as many great amateurs. Yeah, good point.
When is the registration open yet for that event, or will it be?
I'm not sure, but on the Western New York PGA site, there's a schedule, there's a tournament registration on there. I'm not sure if it's open yet.
Okay, westernnewyork.pga.com for more information on that. And that's also a location you'll be able to sign up for our Duster Putting Challenge. How about other events? I know I was just upstairs and I saw it was all dressed up. Tim looking nice for a wedding. You guys have one today, I'm guessing. So what are some other events here that people can have at Glen Oak?
So we do with the clubhouse here. We do have some nice events. It's whether it's weddings, banquets, bridal showers, graduation parties. So we've got another chef last year joined us, Chef Dan Hensley. He's doing a great job with his wife and promoting some of the great space we have both upstairs and downstairs. And that is fun when you get to look out on the golf course. It is green grass. We've got a great ambiance that we're doing, and we're looking at different patio spaces here to just give an outdoor feel. But upstairs, they're doing a nice job for. We've got a nice fireplace. We did the Sims all winter, and then we convert that right into white chairs. The whole room is white, and it's just beautiful. A lot of windows.
Patio is sweet too.
Patio, yeah, we put a nice big tent up, Jeff.
Yep.
Thanks, and it is a lot of fun to host your event here. I had my niece's wedding here just a couple of years ago. 280 down on this lower patio. It was a beautiful night. Open up the sides, and it was a very nice time with a nice. And many places, many events we just don't charge a fee here to have it. We have a lot of fun doing these events. Yes.
Yeah, no, that's a great point there about the fee. Sometimes you have to have the facility fee, and the fact that you guys don't have that, it's great. And the view, whether you're upstairs or downstairs of the golf course, obviously makes it for a nice setting too as well. And the gazebo out there for pictures and everything. Yeah, it's a really, really nice spot.
Pick on people's swings when they're on the range. You can just sit there, wow, look at that guy.
Yeah, usually there's enough noise in the downstairs patio, so if somebody doesn't have quite maybe a 3 or 4 putt on the 9th hole and they say a word or two, you might hear it, you might not. But that's a nice ambiance too.
Yeah, there was a time last year I was sitting up there. I was just having lunch up there, and I was looking on the range, and you see some really good swings and some that might need some help. That's the ones you might go give your business card to. But there was a gentleman last year that I was watching on the range, and I swear every 4 out of 5 balls were ending up right on hole number 6. And he was a ready golfer, so you can imagine what part of the club that was hitting. I finally had to just stop my lunch and
take a walk out there.
Just aim down number 1 and shank it back into the range because that
El Josel.
That was tough to watch. I had to go out there.
How nice of you to stop your lunch to go out to help a fellow golfer. That's it.
It takes a lot to get Anthony to stop eating, by the way.
That is very true.
All right. We're here live at Glen Oak Golf Course here with Tim Freeze and Anthony Shiro. Thanks for being with us here on Tee2Green. Let's bring in another member of our Tee2Green team, Kevin Sylvester. Kevin, good morning.
Morning, guys.
How are you?
I'm full. I'm in New Orleans. You know, it's this might be the best eating stop in the PGA Tour. So I'm with Anthony. It takes a lot to get me away from lunch.
Yeah, absolutely. Kevin, before we talk about the Zurich Classic, we brought you in here now with the guys here for a quick little roundtable discussion on big news involving the Ryder Cup and the PGA of America, with Jim Furyk being tabbed as the next captain. What has been kind of the buzz down there from you and the rest of the media? Maybe as there was a report again that he'll be the 2027 U.S. Ryder Cup captain.
Yeah, you know, I think it's kind of what they did with Davis Love, right? Give him a second crack at it to be the captain, the experience of it. And I think a lot of it was, all right, who's done this before? So who won't feel the pressure? You know, they had a player do it last time in Keegan Bradley, and just all that went into that. And I think you want to bring in somebody else who, you know, has been through it all. You know, Jim's in transition on PGA Tour Champions. He's been broadcasting a bit. I talked to him at the Arnold Palmer Invitational, and he was out looking at greens early, and I just said, "Hey, how are you liking this?" He said, "Yeah, it's pretty good. I got a good crew." And maybe that drove him back to beg the PGA of America and be captain again. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, he wouldn't have to beg. Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Yeah, I mean, you know, I think some people thought, when's Justin Leonard going to get a crack at it? I'm in that category too. Like, I think at some point Justin Leonard needs to be the captain. The guy had the clinching putt in Brookline. You know, major champion. He fits all the boxes there. So I would have been fine with either of those guys. I just know this. I put in for tickets for Adair Manor, and they're going to be pricey there. I think $650 for a grounds pass at Adair Manor.
I was always of the ilk. The captain's a limit. I mean, it's the players that still got to win it. You can have Tim Freeze could be the captain with the right players and win it. And so I think the captain's more of I know they have a role and they make the pairings and everything else, but having that experience will definitely help. But we just got to play better. That's all.
And
but the captain picks. The captain has 6 picks.
That's a good point.
Right?
Yeah. Yep.
So that's significant
for sure. And also, Kevin, you brought it up. Tim, I want your thought on this. Last year, obviously, Keegan Bradley was a popular pick, but in the sense, it also put him and the PGA of America in a tough spot, Tim, looking back at it, because Bradley was playing very, very good at the time. And that obviously was a conflict that I'm sure was tough for Keegan to deal with. I don't know, you know, as you representing the PGA of America here, maybe like looking back at it, would have Keegan been able to play, I guess, because you were involved in a lot of the logistics of the events. Do you think it would have worked well for him to play, or do you think in the end maybe it was the right decision that he stayed off of the course and did the captain role? And I guess maybe could that work again in the future if you think that they could do both roles?
Yeah, a lot of yeses there, right? But if he wasn't the captain, would you have picked him? He was playing that well.
Yeah.
Did that motivate him to play even better, to consider himself? I don't think he ever did. Let's say he told us, listen, I want to be the captain, to be the best I can, to put our best foot forward. And he did something over Saturday night and into Sunday when there was only one team in Europe of the 12, or it turned out to be 11, that actually won. The rest were either a tie or a loss. He did something. So as a motivating player, he could qualify again. I would say about Furyk, he's been on 14 Ryder Cups, played in 9. The U.S., he is completely prepared. And all of the players actually were on the selection committee. They picked Jim. It was really cool for them to say, this is our guy. We really want to do a nice job over at Adair Manor. And to Kevin's point, too, the ticket prices, it's interesting. Over there, it'll be tougher to even get we'll see how many are going to be, and you can imagine the Ireland's.
Will you be there, Tim?
Looking at going, yes, but it's not like the U.S. It's a little different over there. So they put you in a hotel pretty far away. They actually make it tough, and the bus might or might not break down on the way over. They don't make it easy for the Americans to go over there, but it is and it is just fun. It's supposed to be fun. What happened last year has it really been rectified, looked at, and there's some people that are in charge to really try to make that. It won't happen as much over there, but hey, there's nothing like pulling for the right team. But not what happened over there. The personal attacks and things that will start to slowly ebb away, and you look at all your policies. So
Kevin, I want to follow up with this because the crowd, we know that was a storyline at Bethpage at the Ryder Cup, and we've seen it the last few weeks with Matthew Fitzpatrick. He even had a little bit of it at the Players, and then of course he won last week. He was going head to head with Scheffler in the playoff. I know that there's a lot of the USA chants out there. Fitzpatrick said, "Hey, like if that's who they want to root for, that's fine." I guess in some sense he took the high road on it. But Kevin, from you on a week basis, when you're out there on the course, like how much of this do you feel like is an issue right now?
Well, I think there's well, let me just first say the USA chance. It's not the Ryder Cup. It's not the President's Cup. It doesn't make sense. It's just, it's just a way of rooting for the American guy. I get it, but I just don't think it has a spot, the RBC heritage, frankly.
Yeah.
But what I think is a bigger problem is this, I don't know, I would call golf bro culture of you get the whole mashed potato, all that stuff that just continues to be yelled, and guys trying to time it, and it's like, I don't know, it's worn out to me. But on the other side of it, you're a fan, you're allowed to cheer. I think there's this interest in golf and this new interest in the PGA Tour, and that's fine if you want to cheer. Just learn the timing to do it. And, one time, not every time.
Yeah. Kevin, the Zurich Classic this week is an interesting format. It's partners, it's teams. Can you tell everybody a little bit about what they'll be watching this weekend or listening to if they tune into the coverage?
Yeah, I love this tournament because it's different, on the week where players get paired together and they choose their pairings. Or in the case of Austin Eckroat and David Thompson, their wives choose the pairings. I asked them after the round, how'd you guys form this team? And they're like, our wives did it. They're really good friends. Sounds like they didn't know much about each other. But anyway, they're playing well, too. They're 15 under. But so they play, the first round is 4-ball or best ball, as you know it. And then the second round is alternate shot format. They go back to best ball today. Then the final round is alternate shot. So, you play aggressive round one. You try not to hose your partner in round two. Yeah, you go aggressive today here in round three to be in position to try to win it in alternate shot. Then tomorrow's the final round, and it's super fun. I love it because it's different, and especially the alternate shot. That the pace is so great.
Yeah.
It goes so fast. Today will be a little slower. Back to 4-ball.
Yeah. To Kevin's point, the leaders, Alex Smalley and Hayden Springer, shot 58 as a pair in round one. That's the best ball. And then alternate shot yesterday, a 70. So a 12-stroke difference. The Fitzpatrick brothers, Matt and Alex, who are tied for second, they actually were pretty consistent, 64-65. And then you mentioned Thompson and Eckroat, a 59 in the best ball format, followed up with a 70. So obviously most of the teams are doing much better in the best ball format because you've got an extra ball in play. But different event there that the Zurich Classic is kind of, Kevin, they've really kind of bought into this mantra of the team, and it makes this event maybe a little bit more unique than maybe just another one on the PGA Tour calendar in between elevated events and majors.
Well, I think that was the key too. How do we, attract players to come to this event, in the thick of the season here? And, this is the answer. It's also, I think, an opportunity. I was actually interviewing Billy Horschel and Tom Hoagie after each of the rounds. They went 61-68, and Billy, who's won this event twice, he's won as individual player. He won it in 2017 with Scott Piercy, as a team format. And Billy and Tom were supposed to play last year. Horschel had a hip injury, but Billy said, "Listen, neither of us are having a good season, so we're kind of hoping this jump starts our year to get things going." And it certainly has. And for some players like Alex Fitzpatrick, who's on DP World Tour, if he and his brother can win it, well, boom, there you go. Fitzpatrick's on the PGA Tour with a 2-year exemption. So it's a big deal for some of these players to go out there and try to get that victory.
Absolutely. Kevin, how can we can listen to you this weekend?
PGA Tour Radio, which is channel 92 if you have Sirius XM satellite radio. You can always listen for free, by the way, and we all love freebies, right, Brian?
Mm-hmm.
On the PGA Tour app, Now you got to click watch, and then there'll be television streaming, and then has audio. Click on the audio, and then you'll see the Sirius XM icon. You can click on that. We'll be on from 1 until 6 p.m. Eastern, both Saturday and Sunday. Could be past 6. There's a playoff. There's been playoffs in the past year. And the other thing you're guaranteed to hear us talk about is alligators. They are all over this golf course, and there was an epic battle in the lagoon next to the 8th tee yesterday that distracted me from my job. It was Mutual of Omaha stuff, guys. It was awesome.
Wow, you're dating yourself with that reference,
Yeah.
Kevin.
Well, you guys knew it.
Yeah,
I knew you would know it, Jeff.
I did too.
I do, yes.
All right. Well, Kevin, stay safe with the alligators while you're walking around. We'll listen to you on the weekend and enjoy rounds 3 and 4.
All right, guys. Thanks so much.
All right.
Stay well.
Awesome. All right. Kevin Sylvester, part of our Tee2Green team, and of course, working PGA Tour Radio this week. Yeah, Tim, cool format, right? Got alternate shots and best balls back and forth.
Alternate shot. When you watch the best in the world try to do alternate shot, it's become interesting, challenging, but it's also the best for beginners. My wife will not show up here unless we play on a Friday night alternate shot. So you can do it the beginners. You can do it the most challenging for a Ryder Cup or President's Cup. I love it.
Yeah.
It's just fun to play different formats once in a while, too. Yeah.
Hey, before we take a timeout, Anthony, how can people book tee times here at Glen Oak?
GlenOak.com. You go there. The first thing you see is our course updates, our most up-to-date, important things we want to get out to our customers. But the one thing is Glen Oak Tournament Club. If you're looking to just play a little bit more competitive golf, honestly, it's fun too. I mean, it's not just about shooting well and the competitive nature of our tournament club events, but we have one a month. There's some individual events and there's some team events. We're pretty lenient on you can pick your pairings if you want as well. Playing in those events just to feel comfortable in a more tournament setting. You'll see the scores obviously go a little higher because everybody has to finish out their ball in those tournament events. But it's a really cool thing that we started, and everybody loves playing. For a little, pro shop credit. But it's a good experience. Dan Hensley, our chef, puts on a good meal after the fact. We have a tea gift for every event. It includes a gin handicap for the entire year.
Very cool. Well, again, thank you guys, Tim and Anthony, for your support of the show, everything you do for golf in Western New York. We know one of the best public facilities here across Western New York, all you do for junior golf and all these other events to help with charitable causes. We also appreciate you being a part of supporting our Tee2Green Fantasy League. We got 145 entries in it this year. So one of the prizes each month that we give away are passes here to Glen Oak. So thank you for doing that. Okay, we're going to take our first time out here. When we come back, a little update on what's happening with the first tee of Western New York. Tim Karch is going to join us here live. Taylor Gessel from Callaway later on. We'll get our check of the PGA Tour Leaderboard Champions LPGA coming up here as well. I'm Brian Colsey along with Jeff Meadus. Again, thanks to Tim Freeze and Anthony Shiro. More coming up from Glen Oak right after this on Tee2Green, on WGR, and on our streaming on X, on Instagram, on YouTube at T2G Buffalo. Hey, Dan, could you come back with the tip of the week liner? Thank you so much. We welcome you back to Glen Oak here on Tee2Green, live and on the air on WGR and on our video stream, which is presented, by the way, by Donald Ross Clothing. I'm wearing this nice pink hoodie for those of you watching the video stream.
I got the nice jacket.
Yeah, looking good.
Yep.
Jeff, you got the hoodie on, Jeff Blank.
Yeah.
NUTRL, Keep It Tasty Buffalo, and our friends at GolfDojo. Of course, you can go see Jeff meet us there for a lesson. You heard tip of the week time, which we'll get to in just one moment, but we want to bring in for just a few moments here, Tim Karchis from the First Tee of Western New York. Tim, good morning. How are you?
I'm well. Good morning, gentlemen. Hopefully this weather breaks and we can start getting out on the course soon.
Yes, it is. It's raining here at Glen Oak. I'm sure it's raining everywhere else in Western New York. Tim, the First Tee, we appreciate your support of Tee2Green and, of course, all the great things that you do across Western New York. Tim, the executive director of the First Tee of Western New York. I know people are always in maybe a mood to help out with golf, and maybe there's even people that need to get volunteer hours in and things like that. How can people maybe be a part of the First Tee in these upcoming months here and into the summer and help out the program and help grow the game of golf?
Yeah, no, really at our core, First Tee is about youth development. Yes, we use the game of golf, but what we're really teaching goes far beyond the course. We're helping young people build confidence, resilience, and life skills that stay with them long after they leave our program. And in order to do that, we're always in need of volunteers and coaches. So a lot of people get intimidated and think they need to be a scratch golfer to volunteer with us, but that's definitely not the case. We're looking for individuals that can help out on administrative side, help with clubs, and then also help working with the kids when we're at a facility such as Glen with some of our classes.
Tim, how do people sign up to do that, or what is there any sort of like qualification you're looking for them to sign up for that?
Yes, so they can reach out to us through our website, and on there is a Coach with Us link, or they can email myself. So our website is firstteewesternny.org, or if they wanted to send me a direct email, it's tcurchis@firstteewesternny.org.
All right, good information there. And I know you got a cool event also with some former Bills there, including Hall of Famer Jim Kelly, Steve Tasker. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, so June 15th is our Mary Wilson Golf Classic. It's our annual fundraiser. It'll be held at Craigburn Golf Club. We're very excited about that. The event is sold out except for 2 spots available. And that would be a foursome that you would get to play with Steve Tasker or Jim Kelly. Thurman Thomas will be playing, but that foursome has already been taken. So it's going to be an excellent event. Bidding is open on those foursomes, and people can start bidding on galabid.com, FTWNY-MWGC. Bidding is going to be open for 34 more days. And if someone is interested and they don't want to bid and they're impatient and they just want to do the buy it price, a foursome with Bills legends Steve Tasker and Hall of Famer Jim Kelly would be $5,000.
Okay, awesome. We will at the end of the show here at 8:00, Tim. We'll also, I know you sent us the QR code. We'll push that out also on our Tee2Green handle. So if you're following us at T2G Buffalo on X, we'll have that pushed out. I'll tweet it out as well at Brian WGR so people can get on that. We've participated in that Mary Wilson Golf Classic before, and it's a great event at Craigburn on June 15th. So even, Tim, if people can't play, people can still donate and help the cause in that event, correct?
Absolutely. If they're looking to volunteer and help running, say, the putting contest or help set up with the silent auction and basket raffle, they can reach out to me. Or if you have a local business that would like to donate a basket and be part of the event, please email me as well. We would love to showcase as many as Buffalo businesses as we can to help support First Tee Western New York youth development and junior golf across the area.
Tim, when we are at that event and we have conversations and meet some of the youngsters that are working with First Tee, I mean, you can see not only their enjoyment for working the event or being a part of the golf itself, but I think the impact of Tim, of what you and your program has on them in terms of maybe how they carry themselves, how they converse. I feel like you guys are just doing a tremendous job in that area. So on the air here, I just wanted to give you a nice clap and kudos and say that you guys are really changing lives here for youngsters in Western New York. So thank you for everything you do for that.
Well, thank you for those kind words. It's we feel very fortunate that we get to work with the young people that we do and give them an avenue to not only learn this great game of golf, but learn all the skills associated with it, because golf has given us so much. Everyone involved with the game knows that, and it's great to have that passed down to the next generation.
Yes. How can, again, one more time, Tim, information if people want to volunteer or give or sign up to the event or even volunteer to work with your program throughout the upcoming months?
So our website is firstteewesternny.org, or they can reach out to me via email, tcurchis@firstteewesternny.org, or if they wish, they can give us a call. Our phone number is 716-250-3355.
All right. Excellent information there. Tim Karchis, the executive director of the First Tee of Western New York. Again, firstteewesternny.org. Yep, awesome. If you can get into, you can play with Jim Kelly or Steve Tasker again. We'll push out that information at the end of the show here on our Tee2Green handles. But Tim, thank you so much again for everything you do for golf in Western New York. Good luck with the event at Craigburn coming up on June 15th, and we'll be in touch. We'll get you on the air again soon here.
Sounds great. Thank you, guys.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Tim Karchis again from the First Tee of Western New York.
Yeah, great program, and it's an opportunity to play a really cool place too.
Yeah,
yeah.
If you,
that's a good day.
Yeah, you can play with the Bills, and you can also play at Craigburn. It's a win-win.
That is a win-win. Yeah, it's a good day
for sure.
And they do good stuff for junior golf.
I agree. Let's talk a little bit about the tip of the week here.
Okay.
Pre-shot routine this week.
Yeah, we're important pre-shot routine is to a golfer. If you notice tour players, they'll do the same thing every time. And there is science based on how, if the quicker you do the longer your routine is, the less effective your shot will be. So in sports psychology, you want to focus on your target. You want to do the same thing every time. I refer to a lot. It's like shooting free throws, right?
Yeah.
If you're out the free throw line, you don't just get up and huck it up there. You do the same number of dribbles, same number of spins. We've talked about it with a tennis serve. You bounce the ball the same number of times, try to throw it up the exact. The more routine you can make your pre-shot routine, hence the word routine, the better off you're going to be. And the whole purpose of the routine is to set you up for success. So you want to pick your target. You want to visualize a very good shot. You want to take a practice swing or so to see what that feels like, and then get yourself lined up properly. Part of your pre-shot routine should be picking an intermediate target, making sure all your pre-shot fundamentals are squared away. And people forget too, there's a debrief after the shot. So after you hit your shot, it's either good or bad, right? Or somewhere in between. And if you hit a poor shot, what a lot of the best players will do to move on from that, you need to move on from that shot and not let it affect the next shot. So if you made a mechanical error, then you make a mechanical repetition that will help you. If you made a mental error, then make a note of the mental error. And if you go after your round, see how many times you actually made a mental error versus a mechanical error, and you could build that all into your pre-shot routine. But you want to get lined up right, you want to visualize, and you want to have yourself set up and prepared for success.
Is there, in your mind, like a mental and a physical checklist before you hit the ball? Now, I'm not talking like a 10-minute thing here, but like, okay, get these 3 things mentally focused and then a couple physical things and then go.
So my routine basically is I'll start behind the ball. I take my club, line it up towards where I'm going to start it. It's not always the pin, right? It might be something in the day. I pick a target, and then I'm going to visualize the shot. I'm going to visualize the best shot I possibly could hit in this situation. I'm going to see how far it traces as far as to watching it land and roll on the green towards the hole. You know, whatever I can do, the more you can visualize, the more you can realize. And then once I get up, I try to get my club face lined to the intermediate target and then my body lined to my club face. And the key, I think, is then you're going to look at you're always moving over the golf ball because you don't want to be static, right? You're going to look at the target, look back at the ball, look at the target, and as soon as your eyes come back to the golf ball, the quicker you pull the trigger, the more success you'll have. And that's why you see good players watch Oberg and get up and just rip it. It looks like that, but that's part of his routine, and that's part of what makes him very good.
Yeah, and I'm no pro, but one thing I like to do is, okay, you pick your target out in the distance. I like to pick a point a little bit in front of the ball that kind of lines up for that. So then I can put my club face and kind of, I'm not looking all the way in the distance. I'm looking maybe 5 feet in front.
Yeah, the intermediate target. Yeah, 6 to 8 inches in front of your golf ball. It's too hard to line up towards the horizon. Different things affect that. Sun, hills, everything else.
Good tip there from Jeff, our West New York PGA tip of the week. Again, brought to you by the West New York PGA, growing the game today, tomorrow, and beyond. Okay, timeout. When we come back, Taylor Gessel from Callaway. As we roll on here from Glen Oak, Brian Coleshiel, Jeff Meadis, Jeff Blank, Dan Dale producing back in our Amherst studios. More Tee2Green from Glen Oak right after this on WGR. We're back here at Glen Oak, and time for the PGA Tour leaderboard check. We spoke earlier with Kevin Sylvester about the Zurich Classic of New Orleans going on. Alex Smalley, Hayden Springer are your leader. They have a one-shot lead on a group of 3 teams that also includes Matt Fitzpatrick and Alex Fitzpatrick, who are 1 shot back at 15 under par.
And your Champions Tour report is brought to you by Donald Ross Sportswear, your hometown premium golf apparel company. Find us in your local pro shop or online at donaldross.com. This week they're at the TPC Sugarloaf, and some famous names up there: Zach Johnson, Ben Crane, Tong Chai Jai D, and one of my favorites, Paul Stankowski.
All right, LPGA leaderboard presented by NUTRL. Keep it tasty, Buffalo. LPGA's at the Chevron Championship, a familiar face. Nelly Korda leads at 14 under, 6-shot lead heading into the third round here over Patty Tanikit.
All right, good work there. All right, just got a few minutes left here. We're live at Glen Oak here, Tee2Green. Let's bring in Taylor Gessel now, our good friend from Callaway Golf. Taylor, good morning. I know Kevin Sylvester and we recently did a fitting with you. We're really excited about hitting our new clubs here shortly. I know the fitting process is something that you really value, and the folks at Callaway feel like it's something that can really be beneficial to people.
Absolutely. I mean, the concept of fitting and the way in which we kind of evaluate equipment for players' bags nowadays has changed over the years, and it's a bit more complicated, and there are a lot of different avenues in which we can take to help players improve their game. But, each year I know when I get on to talk to you guys about the new equipment and you guys get to experience it, that fitting process of making sure that we can evaluate certain things within your swing to help you improve is really important in any player's game, whether they are just beginning or whether they're more seasoned players that have even more intricate aspects of their game that they need to evaluate.
Yeah. How about the Quantum? That's the new line this year for Callaway. Taylor, what's the early reviews on it?
Yeah, I mean, Quantum has really been a lot of fun. I of course, in my line of work, I get a little bit of a sneak peek earlier than most. But, once players get to see it on shelves and they get to see some of our tour players, like we were just talking about on the leaderboard, once we get to really get these clubs into players' hands, it's so fun to be able to see even players that come to see us last year, in the short amount of time, the types of improvements we can make, because we have such a great golf industry in the area here that we get to see players continue to advance their own games and come to our fitting events throughout the year and go to our fitting centers around the area to see different aspects in their game year over year that they want to improve. And Quantum has done a great job, whether it's the woods up top with the 5 different driver models that we have, all the way down through our wood selection, where we're starting to see a lot more higher lofted fairway woods, 7 woods, 9 woods become very popular in players' bags. And then even down through the irons where, 3 different models within the Quantum line, but then obviously our other important models like Apex and our Pro Series models that we really have such a great selection that when players come to our events, they go to our fitting centers. There really is something for everybody.
Taylor, we only got about 30 seconds left here. Can you give us a quick just wrap on what's new with the golf ball this year with the Chrome Tour and everything?
Yeah, new Chrome family this year. 4 different models within the Chrome family that all do different things, whether it's trajectory help or spin help. Golf ball fitting, I know we've talked about before, is also very important. So the more that we can learn about these players' games, whether they come to us about golf balls or they come to us about equipment, and then we end up talking about golf balls, the fitting aspects of golf balls are even more important than we ever have before, just so that we can make every single improvement that we possibly can to help players play better.
Awesome. Taylor, we apologize. I'd love to ask you more. We are short of time. We're going to get you on in a few weeks, and we'll talk more about Callaway.
Not a problem. Enjoy the time. Thank you.
Thanks, Taylor. Appreciate it. Taylor Gessel from Callaway. Yeah, Kevin and I just recently did a fitting. We can't wait to get our new Quantum line of stuff. All right, Jeff Blank, Jeff Meadus, have a good weekend. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thanks to Tim Freeze, Anthony Shiro, Dan Dale back in our studios. I'm Brian Colziel. Thanks for listening. Tee2Green every Saturday, 7 a.m. on WGR.
Go Sabres.